Hello Internet, welcome back to Rail Survival, a Space Engineer's survival series where we are going to space in probably the least efficient and effective way possible. And then I've started us out here in kind of the middle of the field with no hydrogen, barely any food. I forgot about that. But yeah, I've started here mainly because I'd added a little bit of, roof furniture to the control tower there. I think it looks pretty good. If we get close enough. Close enough. Okay, maybe real close. Let's get some fuel. So if we get right up here on these guys, they're little blinky lights, sort of faux antennae, then little satellite dish. I've used this trick many a time before. Little timer block that will just send it back and forth at a semi-random, well, it's the set time every time. It just is a while, so you forget about it. But yeah, none of that is important because we need to get some stuff planned. Which means I think... Hold on. Well, we're here. Built all these catwalks and I don't use them. We'll at least use the funicular. Take it up to the solar tower. So, the plan for, well, the rest either today or today in the next episode, depending on how quickly it comes together. The plan is I want to get a space elevator. Build some sort of structure somewhere around here that I can theoretically load up all the ores into and take them up to space to sell. Now to do that, it's going to be a big undertaking and use a lot of those resources. And I don't really... Realistically, I'm going to need probably conveyors up the whole thing. So... maybe it's just basically a big conveyor tube that has a little car on it that I can ride up. That sounds like a reasonable plan. Ooh, and thinking about it. So, what I need is somewhere to build this thing, somewhere to start it. Well, my thought was that bluff right over there that I keep eyeballing. We never did anything over there. It's kind of a good spot. And, it's kind of right in view of everything. It would look pretty impressive. But that means I have to climb a mountain to get to the elevator. Or do some... Or do something where I actually drill into that. Have a little entrance down at the base... that then you go into, and that's where you board. It's like a weird underground, and you shoot out of it like a volcano. I'm gonna eat some stew. Think about that. Like, at this point in the game, if I'm not going big, I might as well go home, so... I think we plan for that. We're gonna have a crazy underground complex train, elevator station that shoots you up. So you just look over there and there won't be any infrastructure visible. It'll just be a stick shooting into space. This is probably not going to work. Nothing we're trying here is going to probably succeed, but try we must. Okay. So to make that work, this is probably a good candidate too because it's much larger up here. I'm gonna need to, it's gonna be a pretty big area. I imagine the elevator car is gonna be large grid. I guess it doesn't have to be. It depends on how I do it. Maybe it will be small grid. Either way, I think our best bet first off is gonna be to get a bunch of stuff to drill a hole, build a big sort of bore drill, I can send it as deep as I need to, because any excess will probably be useful for other stuff. But drill from up here down to, you know, down to roughly level with the base. Probably kind of right there, because you're at the base of this cliff, which will look cool. And then, I don't think, because infinite resources obviously aren't really a concern at this point. I don't think I'm going to worry about gathering all the stone from that drill. I'm just going to let it destroy it. In fact, I believe there's a setting now where I don't have to do jankiness with a cockpit to make that work. Oh, I just had an even stupider idea. So, I would need to run probably off of this conveyor, continue pipes along into here. And that's cool and all. But what if, what if I used a train and I have a separate rail car that I could load up with an assortment of whatever good I need to take up, run it along to here, split off, go into the mountain, and then there's some sort of like, basically there's a train in there that ferries a smaller train up. Oh boy. I wish I hadn't thought of it, because now I've got to do that. That will mean it's going to get tricky, because I'm going to have to replace this line, like cut the track out to be able to put in a switch. And actually, ooh. And that gets tricky because of the spacing of things. The whole reason the system works is because I kind of built the tracks separately. Well, we'll deal with that eventually if we deal with it. I may end up changing my mind because it may be a lot trickier than is convenient. But at the very least... Oh. At the very least, if I remember how this works... we can load up... So we'll need drills. We'll need a rotor. We'll need pistons. A battery's probably not a bad idea. And then a bunch of wind turbines. And it'll probably just be run off the wind turbines, but the battery may give it, give it a little bit of buffer. Because this is just going to have to sit and run for a while. Uh-oh. So how... Well, that's what's in there. Yeah. So I've got batteries. That's what I wanted. Still need chunks for the battery and the 2 wind turbines. And I've got 0 pistons. This guy is full. You know what? I was gonna use the truck. Maybe the train would be better. Because it can definitely fit everything. I just don't know if it would be worth... It wouldn't be that much closer than just flying back to somewhere I can get cargo from. This should be enough stuff. I won't be able to finish all the building, but I can at least place it all. So let's see. Oh, and also, the truck was even the wrong call. I should have used the helicopter, because then I could have gotten it right up on top. Yeah, well. For the next load, maybe we do that. Okay. If I want to aim probably just center of mass here. Let's start by not having it be a bold copper color. No. And I need stuff in my inventory that isn't just power cells. Hopefully I can do that. So, kind of center of mass is about here. And I think the easiest way to go about this is just going to be kind of an awkward crane rig, given I don't care about gathering materials from this. Makes it all a lot easier. In fact, I think we'll still only get 2 of these up. There we go. That'll be a good bit. The more pistons you can have down, the quicker these things tend to go. Because it sort of, I don't know if it's exponential, but you can go a lot further. If you just have 2 pistons, you can only go a little bit and you have to start over again. Maybe the math doesn't work. It feels like a bunch of pistons will get deeper in quicker, which means fewer times I have to pull everything back up and start over. Well, I still may have been just a little overzealous. I think you can get away, you may be able to get away with 3 block gaps when you're what would be called right-click drilling traditionally. Also, that will hit the base of my tower, which is not good. I kind of want that much room. Should have built a bigger tower. Well, why stop now? We're already expanding and expanding. Okay. That should be enough to make us a decent-sized hole. So, with luck, we ended up with enough junk to kind of get this thing going. Ooh. Also, fuel low. Conveniently, this is right here. There we are. Oh. That will have confused some things as well. I noticed I had a power cell in the old inventory that I shouldn't have had. And actually, it was easy enough to get to the thing over there, considering I'm flying anyway. Probably didn't need the truck, but I don't know. It's been with me through so many massive building projects. Felt like it should have a hand here.
Meteor storm inbound.
You know, that makes me think about some things. Given the track has proven not immune to the old meteors, this long vertical one could potentially be in danger. We'll just have to hope that doesn't happen, because that, you know, if the track segments out there break. The worst that happens is the ore car falls off, and it's kind of funny. If there is a massive orbital station up there dangling down that suddenly is free, that could be well, there probably won't be a returning space elevator. I think that will there may not be a mountain here if that occurs. So nothing going on here actually requires a set level of power. I think there is some brownout functionality, but the drills and pistons, one wind turbine should be enough to keep this running, even if there's low wind occurring. Okay. Let's go ahead. Want to share inertia tensor on all these guys. And obviously this isn't a permanent feature, so it's probably going to be manually controlled. Get all of our drills ticking over. Though, maybe I do want more drills. Because at this, with only the one arm, I probably will want to, basically I will push down a layer and drill. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like I have much else to do. Just not very exciting for me. We could go ahead. We'll go ahead and set that up for that technique then. So I'll control the maximum distance. That makes it really easy for me to just set however deep I want it. Oh, they are touching just a little bit up there, so. Oh, and I forgot. Terrain clearing mode. Ah, now that's doing something. I realized they were leaving little gaps. I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Ah, that's some drilling. We can even probably... You can probably go down further. Because they clear more of an area ahead of them as well. Which also means... Will this hit anything?
Fuel low.
Uh-oh. Okay, this may be bad because I don't think... Yeah, I'm too low to actually control the thing. Alright, let's hope 1 RPM... It looks like 1 RPM is doable. It's clearing ahead of itself enough. I could have probably even offset this drill by 1 and gotten away with it pretty comfortably. Because of course, there is less distance to travel on the inner radius, so things bump into stuff potentially more often when the thing's moving quicker. We'll let this thing make some crop circles up here. Let's get some fuel. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Okay. My observation point was slowly getting eaten out from under me. That's not great. That's going good. And this is, I was able to push it down 5 meters. and it's still happily digging along. I am very happy they added the ability to do this with drills just with a toggle, because how you used to have to do it was you would set up a cockpit on there, you would start right-click drilling, go into the menu, and then so long as you immediately got out of the menu, and I think you could get out of the cockpit, but I'm not sure. But you couldn't, if you clicked anything again while you were in that cockpit, it would stop, but you didn't have to hold the button down. So there are ways to cheesily do it, and frankly, the terrain clearing mode is, you know, it's just useful. So I don't see a particular reason why it shouldn't be available. Okay. So that's all the pistons. Let's... Cool. This doesn't hurt. I'm gonna just go ahead. Pop down GPS so we can see how far off we are. Yeah. So, probably about here, which would be great if I had steel to place a little marker, but about here is probably where I want to start my tunnel in. Maybe even further down. So, I think we pull these up, add maybe 5 more pistons, and do it again.
Inventory full.
Oh, this is gonna... Hold on. Yeah, these things are full of rocks. Do I think the helicopter can lift these guys? Let's see. Because it'll be a lot easier to break them down over next to cargo. Other question is, does the helicopter have a good way to do that? I think what I may do... So I can drop that little container. And then... Yeah. Though I didn't want to actually take off yet. It's kind of just remembering how the thing worked. So I think this was actually part of my design. I should be able to slap on... Slap on one of those guys. And hopefully that goes low enough. Oh. Okay, that wasn't the goal. Okay. Hopefully I can kind of basically just straddle onto this thing, lock onto it. Ooh. This may be a bad idea. Because while I may have enough vertical lift, this thing does not have a ton of maneuvering thrust. Alright. Let's get it as centered as possible. Alright. Now, this could go very bad very quickly. Huh? Okay, no. Actually, look at that. I built something effectively. I guess the reality is, yes, this is heavy, but it's probably not too far off from a cargo container full of ore. Or, I don't know if I ever put ore in this thing. I've definitely put parts in it. It probably had some ore. Yeah, the reality is this isn't probably as heavy as I thought it could be. I guess. You know what? This thing's got 53 minutes of thrust. It is slowly lifting itself skyward, which isn't quite what I want, but we'll just check on it. I think it'll be fine. I can probably just leave this thing on here and then just slap it back on once I have the other pistons built. Okay. Let's go back down to the ground now. I guess it's just... Well, my thrust is probably just a little bit forward, I guess, of this thing's center of mass. Or, I don't know. Everything's going to be a little jank with what's going on there. But so long as it stays vertical, it should be alright. If it starts leaning too far backly, I think it'll crash itself into a mountain. Okay. So that is 6 more pistons, bringing us to a total of 10, which will be way more than I probably need. And we've got our rotor back. Should be able to right the ship here. There we go. And slap this on. Now it's worth noting with rotors, that little line you can see, that lines up to 0. And that will line up to 0 no matter where you are in the world. So
Fuel critical.
you have to be careful when attaching stuff like this via ship, because you can very easily accidentally blow everything up. Very gently here. We should hopefully have enough light to see everything going on. And hopefully we fit in the hole. We should, yeah, the helicopter is actually not the longest part of this assembly, so the assembly created the hole, so it should be good. Oh. I say that. Created a bit of room, but it was kind of just enough. Okay. So, where is 0 on here? 0, oh, perfect. 0's there, line is there. Hopefully I'm not misremembering and that line indicates 90 degrees, because if so, this is going to go badly. Whoa. That's too much speed. Come on. Gentle. It doesn't help that everything is drifting up. Hey! Look at that. Drills are on. Raring to go. Let's go ahead and switch luck on that and clear the pit. All right. Well, I would call that a success. We may not even need all these pistons. We'll see how much I feel like going over. Oh, we do probably though want to share inertia tensor them. And we can real quick. Perk of this being its own separate thing is I can control everything fairly easily. Don't want to do that. So all of that to 0. All of that to 5. You could probably go. Well, we'll let it get to. Yeah, get to depth and determine we could go further. Unfortunately, to kind of see what's going on, I do have to hover down here in the pit, which means I do need to keep a pretty close eye on my hydrogen, because if I run out, I'm stuck in the pit. I really don't want to have to make an ugly, awkward little drill tunnel halfway up it, just to be able to get out and get myself fuel. Okay, we're a good bit deeper now. I think... Well, I think that may have been 4 pistons. But if I look out kind of at the world... I mean, eyeline I'm almost with the field research outpost. But the base antenna looks like it might be a little above ground. So... create a new GPS. Figure out where I am. There we are. Okay. That's probably pretty much right at level. Maybe actually a little high still, because that goes at my feet and it was at eye level from outside. So a few more pistons. I may just use them all because we built them. We will see where we end up. So I just had a thought, so I've given this a lot of time. I should probably be checking my cars, because it's probably worth sending them in once they're full. So, let's see. Ore is obviously going to pull up a lot. But if I do that, that'll get me exactly what I need. So cobalt is nearly full. Gold is full. That's surprising, because gold was one of the last ones to arrive. Iron is full. With truck, of course, doesn't fill. Magnesium's getting there. Nickel is full. Silicon. Okay, so a few are full. Let's go ahead and send... We'll send gold, iron... Gold, iron, and nickel. Which is probably a risky pairing because, nickel requires some extra stuff going on. Well, it shouldn't matter. Worst case is gold stops on the other end of the, return line. Alright. So, we can send iron, knit to parts. Nickel we can go ahead and send. And gold. Somewhere way out there, I think. Or I didn't set up this button. Okay, gold light is out, so should be coming along. It may just be too far out of range. I didn't pay attention. So, ooh. do need to set that over. There we go. Set that into the yard. Iron should get in first. Gold is going to take decades to arrive. Is nickel actually coming? There may be some weirdness. Let's see. Yep. For some reason, nickel's handbrake is on, but I can remote into it, which is handy. Now, gold. Gold I'm not actually seeing. Let's see. Which one of these is my actual antenna? I think. Yeah, this guy. 5K should be enough. Maybe we take the old scav and fly over there and see what's going on. Nickel should stop. Yeah, down here. So that's safe. Iron will come all the way in and we can shuffle the rest around. Let's get the drill digging as well. Oh! Okay, gold is in range. So it is further than 5 kilometers out. I really thought that the gold deposit was closer than that, but that means hopefully 6,500 meters. Yeah, that would be meters. Hopefully 6,500 meters will get us in range as soon as it departs. But it is moving, obviously, because it got into range. Sweet. I should still deal with this thing. Ah. So I just used my eagle eye vision to check in on the iron car because it didn't seem to be moving. Yeah, it wouldn't. With the track set up to tell it not to move. I was watching as the nickel car was kind of outpacing. I was like, oh, they're going to get here. Like, at worst, they'll get here right at the same time. Okay. That should solve that. Just wait a while for it to... There it goes. Ah. That is so cool. It is just kind of watching dots on a screen for the most part, you know, here as it is. But just knowing that there are machines out there just automatically operating based on inputs from the outside world. It's like I have little children. All right. This is the last plunge. I'll let it do its thing. Well, I'll let it do its thing and come back, but I'm sure we're way below ground level now, which is good. Nickel is approaching. Iron is approaching. Just by the fact that nickel has to go past us and all the way over there first, iron will definitely get here before then. Gold will be, you know, forever. Make ourselves a new GPS. Fly out of the hole. Oh yeah. That's good. Plenty of room to do stuff below the sort of entry level. So now we just need to tear all that down, get things adjusted, and do a tunnel sideways. Oh, nuts. Okay. Well, things may not be perfectly fine-tuned. I was off getting stuff ready because I was like, oh, I'll come back, you know, when I've got stuff set up over there for drilling sideways. I've got a plan for that, and the thing damaged itself. That's not damaged. I'm guessing... Well, I'm guessing, yep, the ore car is still, or gold car is still moving. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Worst case, I can kind of monitor, and as long as they don't do enough damage to, like, rip themselves apart, I don't care so much. Well, no, that is correct. I need that. Then that. And that should move nickel forward to the reverser. And also set up for gold to come straight along. So it's there. Flip that back that way. Now... I think it was going in reverse, so I need to hit it forward. Yes. We'll stay in here a second just in case the brake turns back on. Seems like we're good. Cool. So I can get those guys unloading. Gold will still be forever. I was setting up, I realized I probably... So, with the pistons over there, the drills way down, I actually just raised the drills up. But I was going to build like a, you know, a line of blocks down and set stuff up, and I was going to do a whole thing where I dismantle all of that and then move stuff around. I realized it would probably be easier than just take the helicopter, take all the ore out of the drills, and what I'm going to need when I'm over there are drills and pistons. So I'll just leave all that there, rip it apart and sort of repurpose it in there. I may even use the pistons as they are, get them down to the height I want, and then drill. We can see about that once nickel arrives here. I guess we can also see if it is going to damage itself. Yeah. The above view, not so fun. This is a pretty cool view. I'm just watching it come in. And yes, it damages itself. Why are you doing that? It was so good before. I may have to set them to move even slower. Okay. Well... I may be able to halt gold before it gets here. Let's real quick. Okay. Gold is approaching the final switch between it and iron. If I hit it real quick, that'll hold gold there and let me send iron back on its way. Yeah, that should all be aligned. Track 1, depart. Hopefully it doesn't do any damage to itself at the other end. Nickel is also done. You know, maybe that's what I need this thing for. I don't actually need it from here, but being able to switch them to load and unload from up here probably would be handy. Also, okay. I was saying the numbers were fast approaching. I was worried that I'd made a mistake and was accidentally sending 2 train cars to careen into each other. Not that they would just all both stop and then I have to deal with it. Get some more fuel real quick and then see about repurposing some drills. I think to do that, ow. I think right here is where I want my thing. We'll go a little up the hill. That way, as we drill, if my head is aimed at that, it should come out kind of right where I want it. And we may not be perfectly aligned with that, but I don't really care. I think what I'm going to do is try dropping these guys down until the piston is aligned. In fact, we'll use this as a rough measure. But I'll get rid of the rotor and then probably just build straight from the pistons. I say that, would it be better? Nah, I think this works. And actually, maybe I do leave the rotor. Because, so this piston, this is the perfect center of this hole. I don't necessarily want the structure in here at the same angle as this grid, because that's going to be off angle. I was just going to ignore that, but in reality I could, you know, I don't have to ignore that. I could make use of that and just drill towards it. And I could rebuild this all with blocks, but I don't think it's that big of an issue. This stuff, things don't quite seem to be moving. No, they are. It's just that the gold car was blocking the signal. I guess I could go ahead and get them doing their thing. Okay. Probably one more piston down. Maybe 2 pistons down. In fact, might be 2 pistons down, but I don't know if this last one will actually need to go all the way. Oh, no, actually. Maybe I want one more. So we'll send it halfway down its length and see how we look. Ooh, that's close. So a trick, when you turn on your jetpack and sort of fly around, when you turn it off, you will end up perfectly level to gravity. If you touch the mouse at all, that changes, or, you know, touch your head muscles, is what I meant to say. But yeah, it looks like I'm just a smidge low still, or a smidge high. I need to be a smidge lower. Try 0.65? That's pretty close. And in reality, the drill's going to be a little lower. Maybe I want to actually go back up to 0.6. Because I'd rather the tunnel be a little taller than not. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we could have predicted that. Okay. I think we have to do... Let's remote into... iron real quick. The bright side is this is fairly easy to control because I just control the event controller that has my sort of max speed. Which I think was these guys. Yeah. Alright. 2.5. Let's try it. Hopefully that'll run a little slower now and mean they don't accidentally crash into stuff. Benefit of the chairs is I can control these guys remotely. Or not remotely, I can get in them and control them more directly. Okay. Get this connector fixed. At least it only killed the connector. Though I do have to... So, it will be... Small connector forward. Which means I need to probably go in and set everything up for that. Now it's set up correctly. So unload. And actually, this will be easiest, I think, from here. What I can now do, if I type in slow, I don't know what this does. But I can go in here and change all of these that aren't white, because those are connected. Can I edit them? Oh, thank God, I can edit them all at once. There we go. So because everything is connected, grid-wise, I can just... That was all of the cars. I can just get in and edit their settings. And I might as well stay here until this thing's fully empty, which just happened, so perfect. Unload. Unload. Find the correct way to leave. And we can send these out on their way again. Now moving slower, but... Oh, and I'm guessing iron made it back already. Yeah. it's in the network. I also need to go in and change the speed that the wheels, the max wheels are. There we go. So 8 kilometers an hour. Very, very slow. But that's below whatever I set the speed limit to. I don't remember these things. All of those.
Meteor storm
This might be
inbound.
getting the welding train too, but we can fix that separately. Alright. So now everything else should be set up. I just saw got meteors coming in and getting shot down. Kind of. Good thing it didn't hit the, that. That would have been bad. Anyway. One is... Oh, yeah. Gold is out of the yard and heading on to the gold track. So I can send nickel off as well. And I should be good to trigger the manual stop to send it back to nickel land. If it didn't freeze. On your way. Why bother fixing bugs when you can just manually undo them quickly? Alright. It'll get to its destination in a second. Let's keep doing this. So, yeah. 6 looks pretty good. Oh, I need to fly the helicopter as well. Alright. Helicopter away. And we can go ahead and, well, keep at all the stuff we're doing. And it looks like nickel car's not quite to its destination. Now, I don't think... Yeah, no. I can't put stuff into there. So I think I'll just do the old position swap trick. Except... I kind of didn't want that drill to be there. Yeah, this will get a little weird, but it should work. I think this is right. 3 wide. I'm gonna do the right click drilling, so and I probably want to... Can I... Dang. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do the controlling from up here. See if we can get it aimed kind of dead on, and then get what parts we can moved over. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So, rotor lock that.
Inventory full.
Move our pistons for the third and maybe final
Inventory
time.
full.
Or drills. Oh. Whoops. Good thing I thought to check and also thought to, well, I didn't think to trigger, but the brake accidentally re-triggered. I sent this ore car the wrong direction. There we go. Yep, so stop there. Hopefully It'll start moving again when I do this. I wonder if part of the reason the handbrake keeps cutting back on is the system to sort of relaunch it when it stops detecting stuff. For some reason, something in there is able to... something in there gets triggered when it stops timer-wise that is what's sort of messing with things and throwing the brake back and forth. I'm not sure, but... again, it's easier to just kind of remote in and trigger it if I notice something's amiss. Okay. So we're at our target. Let's get these guys right-click drilling. Minimize our jiggle as much as possible. That is a downside with them being connected to this piston arm, but I think it worked out all right. What is 5? Does 5 work? It seems to. So we may just keep drilling at that. This will make us a nice big hole for whatever we end up doing. Upon further thinking, I don't know if I will, if I'm gonna try and run a train through here. Just because, again, for how you build a space elevator in Space Engineers, it's gonna need conveying of its own anyway. And putting a train on top of it, while fun and thematic, it would be excessive because I'm already going to have a conveyor pipe going from here at the base connected to my base all the way up. So I think we'll suffice that it is a train-like vehicle atop the track and go from there. Now, I was wrong when I said it was the last time we'd be moving our drills because, of course, I have to take the drills off to be able to add more pistons. I could have probably designed it with like a quick release, but then I'd have to set up some sort of rig where I could connect things down inside the tunnel so that nothing like shifted and I could always reconnect it. And no. There is always a good way to do stuff, but there's also the quick way, and frankly for this endeavor I think quick is good enough. If this were a really long tunnel, I'd probably be thinking differently, but we may be able to get it done with just this first extension. I assume we'll see it when we break through. The pistons are miles away, or the drills are miles away down there. And I'm on my last piston. Oh! Haha! The last one, which annoyingly means I'm going to have to add a couple more to actually break through the earth correctly. But hey, that's something. Height-wise is looking alright. We'll probably have a little dip in, but that's okay. Yep, I can add new piston head. And I should be able to build over those guys with just a little borrowed steel.
Fuel low.
Oh, and thankfully,
Fuel
with just a little bit of
critical.
fuel, I was able to make it out of the hole. Alright. Last push. If we're lucky, these kind of push out and just become level with the ground at some point. There may be a little lump, but we can always build some rampage to deal with that. Out of my way, bush. Hopefully it actually goes away. Sometimes they don't. It's further. Further than I anticipated. And yeah, we may not quite be able to come out level with the earth. Maybe we will. Alright, I think this will be the last push. Oh no. And the bush didn't go away. I have ways to deal with that. Okay. I think let's go ahead. We'll bring the truck around just to hold some of these drill parts. We can tear this thing down and I guess start getting a well, get some sort of structure built in there that is going to be permanent. Let's see. I want it to be ideally, yeah, level with the ground here. Fairly aligned, though. Could be a little better. It's always tricky trying to kind of free-form place stuff. Again, my goal is to have the eventual space elevator shaft going straight up the middle where the down pistons are currently. So I want it to be as close as possible. So that this can actually get built, I should probably be building with half slopes. Maybe I build the outer bits with half slopes because I think, yeah, these guys are just clipping through the dirt enough that they'll kind of have a continuous intersection. Yeah. Okay, there's the edge. Oh, yeah, and it's a deep pit. I think that should be fun, though. My thought is, if I'm on, the top of the elevator, I've got an idea for how to make it that I think will involve, well, it'll involve a bunch of stuff below it. So it'll make sense to have sort of, a bunch of room below the docking port. So you kind of look down and just see a pit with stuff barely visible down there. Oh, and you know what? We'll get this built, but had I been smart, that middle beam would have been pipe. Probably the enclosed conveyors. Because I need a conveyor line here. I could also run it through the ceiling. Maybe I will. Because then there's more kind of visual interest looking through this thing. And it means I have this sort of outstretch where you would, drive or walk along. But I can have the actual, pipe connection up here going off. So I got most of the pistons out of the tube. Gathered a fair bit more steel. I can go out, so it is storming. Hold on. I don't think I noticed. I've seen this behavior before. It's not storming underground, but when I go out... Oh. Also, there's a hole. But yeah. Pretty neat. Also gives you some benefit to... You can... I don't... Well, oh, no, I know what this probably is from. This probably is built off of the sort of radiation protection stuff. Because now you can hide from storms inside just like you can hide from the burning rays of the sun. Anyway, I've got a little entryway. You know, fairly straightforward. Kind of just here. Really, it'll give me... I mean, it always looks weird having just an exposed hole in rock. Because in real life, of course, that doesn't happen. You have to shore it up, otherwise it collapses. So, having a little bit of something up here gives it a little bit more detail, and this is a good, you know, connection point so I can have my pipe just kind of connecting in here. And I'll probably have a couple more of these. I like exposed rock tunnel. I think that has a good good visual to it, but I will probably have some more of these arch structures. One, just to make everything feel supported, and they're good location spots for lights. And I guess I should probably... I should go ahead and get the conveyor line over here actually before kind of anything else. But yeah, if I have the conveyor line, then I can, you know, I just have conveyor cargo access in where I need it, and don't have to run back and forth all the time. And of course, we're just out of range of the thumper suppression. There we go. Go ahead and get the get this piping kind of extended over the ice mine. Which is wild to think about, that this used to be kind of like the far-flung reaches of the base, and now it's pretty much dead center. And honestly, I may just run this thing straight pretty much the entire way over there. And just do some final sort of last-minute adjustment. Oh yeah, that's pretty much perfect. Maybe a little close, but... should work out. What I can do... I should be able to make this work. I think I can use a rotor in here. Let's see. Okay, I can attach it. Now the... Actually, hold on. I could fiddle with the height on that, but I think the better option is going to be, instead of that corner piece, use another hinge. Just kind of let this flop down. That way this thing can be fully free floating at whatever height it needs to be to avoid any tension issues. So attach that. Toggle that off. Toggle that off. Turn that off even though it's not even built. And that off. There may be a little bit of pulling. Hopefully that's fine. Ooh. I do have some rock turrets that need attention. We'll assume that's good. get some more fuel, get those turrets filled, and then see about getting that tube welded.
Fuel low.
Whoa.
Fuel critical.
So I slap this thing on here just so I can quickly and easily refill and pull parts and whatnot. Actually, it's just high enough. I don't even need to use thrust, probably. Just walk along the pipe and do what I need to do. Alrighty. So that's a nice little recharge-cargo station for all my recharging and cargo needs. I think we're going to go ahead and call it for today. This was not the end, as you probably noticed just now. There will be more to do. I will probably finish the piping, get the floor all welded, and maybe get a little bit of the interior sort of space elevator station, I guess, set up and ready so that next time we can come in sort of ready to go with a plan, get it built, and do, you know, big finale, end of series excitement type stuff. But all that will come in the future. For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done, and until next week, bye bye.